It's not always easy taking over a new club in Football Manager. You need to find things that work tactically, player combinations, make sure everybody is gelling, and sometimes it takes a little while for things to start to fall into place. At least here at Arsenal, we have an opportunity to do something that we did not have a chance to do at Fulham, and that's play in the Champions League. And welcome back, everyone, to episode number 108 of Bottom to the Top. I'm Mr. Cellophane. I hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Even though in last episode we did not do so well in our return to Craven Cottage, we had a chance at revenge not long thereafter as we met up with Fulham once again in the third round of the Carabao Cup. And this time we were at the Emirates, and this time we took care of business. It was a stoppage time first half goal by Macias that was the difference in this one. A 1-0 lead. Again, Fulham dominating possession. However, we took care of business where it counted. We're moving on to round number 4. Unfortunately for us, that's another matchup with a team that we, again, seem to meet up with quite a bit in cup competitions. In Liverpool, the fourth round, well, that's going to take place at Anfield, which, I'm going to be honest with you, isn't the greatest news for us because we suffered our third consecutive 1-0 defeat on the road when we took on Spurs in our first North London derby. Mauricio Torreira made it 1-0, 11 minutes in, and we just could not break through. More bad news for us. Dixon Dockrace went off with an injury in the 69th minute. We're going to be without him for about a month and a half to 2 months. Which means that we are resting all of our hopes for the Champions League, at least right now, on English-Kosovan dual national Jetmir Muradi, the 26-year-old. Not nearly as impressive looking on paper. He has made 6 appearances in his Arsenal career, only given up 4 goals, kept a clean sheet in his 1 appearance in the Premier League because he came in after Dockrace, so they gave him the clean sheet for the 22 minutes that he was on the pitch. I mean, I hope we are going to scour the free agent offerings just to see if there is anybody else, because once we get past Jetmir Muradi, Nikolai Silberhauer is third on our depth chart, and if we have to play Nikolai Silberhauer, we are in big trouble. We did think we had a deal in place actually to ship him out at the very end of the transfer window, but there was not enough time to get that done, and it ultimately fell through. Just a few changes from our normal setup in front of Muradi for this match against Paris Saint-Germain. Alain's going to be on the left wing. Butera's going to come in at center back because Kemschall is going to head over to the right back position in place of Bae Jae-hoon, who just could use a day off. William Saliba is going to round out the back 4. It's going to be Declan Rice, Florian Wirtz, and Martin Odegaard in the midfield, with Gabriel Martinelli, Jonathan Reyes, and Bukayo Saka up front. And we are most certainly the underdogs for this match as we head to the Parc de Princes in Paris, France, for our first tilt in the 2034-2035 UEFA Champions League. It's Arsenal in the red, Paris Saint-Germain in the blue and red, kind of half and half. Luckily, I did not wear that kit today. I honestly came a little close before I was like, yeah, that's probably not the best idea in the world. And yes, I know, first match looking at the live table, but to see Wolves at the top, that is a very weird thing. RB Leipzig already taking a 4-0 lead over Fenerbahce in the first half. Meanwhile, not a lot going on in this match. We did manage 4 shots on goal before Gabriel Martinelli picked up an injury. It is to his arm, of all things. So we're going to bring Macias in to take his place for the final, 65 minutes of this match. 4-0, though, your shots on goal. We've actually led in possession. Hopefully, we can find a way to break through in the Paris night. Alain, though, with a heavy touch, losing it to Fernandez. Gechter with it, moving it toward his left. Xavi Simons dropping it back for Ghosts. Ghosts hanging on to the ball before playing it all the way back to Donnarumma. Still in goal for Paris Saint-Germain all these years later. Nuno Mendes up for Torquato. Feeds Ansu Fati, taking it toward the sideline. Fati back for Torquato. Into the middle. Finds Ramos. Ramos able to chip it past Murati, but Murati getting a hand on it and knocking it behind for a PSG corner, which Ramos is going to deliver. Right-footed. The outswinging delivery headed away by Saliba. Wait, but they called a push and a penalty in favor of Paris Saint-Germain. VAR is being consulted, and the penalty has been awarded. Declan Rice apparently was the guilty party. Xavi Simons to take it, and Murati making a wonderful save on the penalty attempt to keep this match 0-0. Nuno Mendes, another outswinger. Is it raining in Paris? It sure is. Clemshaw tries to clear it away. Ansu Fati will clatter it off of the crossbar. What a delivery that would have been if it had hit the target. It did not. The last 7 shots of this first half have come PSG's way, and that is where we are going to end the first 45. 55% possession for Arsenal, 7-4 your shots on goal. We poured it on early. Paris Saint-Germain ended up coming back toward the latter half of that first half. We are happy with the performance so far, but we are going to slow things down just a little bit more in the rain, and we're actually going to do the same thing. We'll try to play for set pieces because we have been doing a very nice job with that. We're going to play through the middle just to kind of keep things focused and maybe wait a little bit before we start to get to our wingers, because I feel they get a little isolated sometimes when working up that sideline. So we're going to see if this is going to make any positive changes for Arsenal. I will take a draw on the road in Paris, especially against the team that is this strong on paper. Dmitry Tarasenko. Oh, I would have loved to have had him at Fulham. Still ruining that. Torquato. Kempshaw making a bad play, but he makes up for it. Tracking it down. Kempshaw throwing it forward. He's got Reyes in, shooting, and that's going to be deflected not once, but twice, including off of the goalkeeper, Donnarumma. And out for a corner kick. Martin Odegaard to deliver. He's going to look for Saliba near post. Can he find them? He does, but Saliba unable to get the header on target. He puts it wide. Free kick for PSG. Cleared away. Saliba going to send it long. Taking it the midfield stripe is Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes up the left wing side. Feeds Torquato outside the box. Looking far post for Fernandez. He'll put it on and over the crossbar. No harm. No foul. Obviously, we do want to win. We want all 3 points, get the Champions League started on a nice, positive note. But honestly, the way that Paris Saint-Germain is set up, in the bad weather, us on the road, I think a draw would be an excellent result. Kempshaw off of the set piece. Lays it back for Saliba. He's got some space and time to think about what he's going to do, getting it back from Kempshaw. Saliba once again. Moving it toward the near sideline. Hands it to Kempshaw. Up ahead, Bukayo Saka. He'll lose it. Mendes playing it away. Fernandez. Ramos back for O'Malley. Turned over, though, to Reyes. Reyes wide to Macias. Macias will stop. Drop it back for Alan. Back for Macias. Moving it to his right for Florian Wirtz. Going from range off of the hands of Donnarumma and into the goal for the first goal of the season for Florian Wirtz, 25 yards out. Donnarumma thought he had it covered. He was wrong. Macias with the ball, just dropping it back. Florian Wirtz flipping it toward that far top corner, and he finds pay dirt. We are going to get some fresh legs out on the pitch. Bukayo Saka will come off. Ahamada, who we had to promise a little bit more playing time to, even though we have him as an emergency backup, he still was like, I need more playing time. We originally were like, just suck it up, dude. But unfortunately, the rest of the team was like, yeah, you really should given that time. That was including Declan Rice and Florian Wirtz, and we were like, yeah, we want to keep you guys happy. Thrown forward, Fernandez on and over the bar. Murati not having to make a save there. In fact, only 3 of the 10 Paris shots have found their way on target. We're going to keep the positive mentality because I am afraid to drop that down, but we are going to start wasting some time in these final 10 minutes. Hopefully we can hang on to this 1-0 victory. It will be our first road victory, and as soon as I say that, we get another highlight for Paris Saint-Germain. Nuno Mendes up for O'Malley. Outside the D, Fernandez in, clattering it off the crossbar again, and Toro can't control it. It will go out for a throw with 4 minutes left to go. 11-8, your shots on goal in favor of PSG. Dead ball start from Alain. Wirtz playing it back. Declan Rice. He's got Martin Odegaard looking for Ahamada. Intercepted by Mendes. Playing for Toro. Toro carrying it up. Moving it to the right. He switches it over to Fernandez. Heavy touch, though, taken away by Macias. Wirtz playing it ahead for Fernandez. Newly into the match. Fernandez working it up the left wing. Stops, passes in the middle. Wirtz back for Rice. Declan Rice is going to pivot it up for Odegaard. Fernandez in the middle, shooting, hitting the crossbar, but the flag is up. Fernandez went early and was whistled for the offsides. 4 minutes have been added on. We've played 3, we've played 4, we've played 5, we've played 6, and the full-time whistle is blown. Arsenal on the road in the Champions League, picking up a 1-0 victory against Paris Saint-Germain, and things maybe, hopefully, are starting to click for the Gunners. I don't normally come to the Champions League standings page after just the one match. We were one of 8 teams to pick up a victory on the first match day. We find ourselves in 7th place. That is excellent news. But what caught my attention was the 10-0 drubbing that RB Leipzig laid on Fenerbahce. Blissfully for us, we don't play them. Although I do kind of wish we were playing Fenerbahce. Gabriel Martinelli, a fractured lower arm in the 25th minute of that match. He's going to be out 4 to 5 weeks. We are sending him to a specialist, so he hopefully doesn't have any issues. That's a lot of money to be having on the sideline. Macias most likely will be the one to slot in and take his place in the starting 11. A home tilt on the weekend against Everton saw our consecutive home clean sheets record broken as Murati is able to make the save, but Tumber puts home the goal to put Everton up 1-0 early. Macias feeding it in the middle, taken away by Nathan Patterson, but Jonathan Reyes on the press, not once, but twice on goal. Damien could not stop the second one, and then Reyes came right on back. Give and go, Claes Albasha over for Reyes. Albasha with 2 assists in this one. Reyes putting home his second of the game and his second of the year. And then Reyes with the assist, dropping it back for Basha. Over for Tabiso, bad boy, in the 6th minute of stoppage time in the second half to give Arsenal the 3-1 win. That moves us into 5th place in the Premier League. Yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down season. Away loss, home win. Away loss, home win. Away loss. Now home win. Luckily for us, our next home match in the league is at home against Burnley before we head to Liverpool. But first, we have a little matter of Bayern Munich coming to town. Of course, due to some match congestion, we had rotated a little bit for the Everton squad. A more typical lineup for Arsenal as we take on Bayern Munich. It's Murati in goal, a back 4 of Alain, Butera, Saliba, and Beje Hoon back in the lineup. A midfield 3 of Declan Rice, Florian Wirtz, and Martin Odegaard. Bukayo Saka is going to move over onto the left wing, taking the place of Gabriel Martinelli. Ahamada will start in place of Saka on the right, and Jonathan Reyes will once again be leading the line as our striker. Murati hoping to follow up on some very, very strong performances in the last 2 matches. Hopefully we can make it 3 in a row as we take on Bayern Munich at home. They are in the black jerseys. We are in the red with the white sleeves and the white shorts. We have brought in a number of goalkeepers on trial who are, frankly, not very good. So we need to make do with what we have. Davis sending it in. It will be cleared away by Saliba. Ahamada settling it down, and Beje Hun will take it out of the zone, playing it across for Alan. Ahead for Martin Odegaard. He'll send it up the left wing. Bukayo Saka cutting it inside before moving it back toward the sideline. Alan looking for Saka again, but Alvaro's going to get in the way of that. Jeremy will lose it for Florian Wirtz. And Arsenal once again looking to move it forward. Reyes, he's got Bukayo Saka. Saka splitting the defense. Alvaro, though, getting back. Wirtz takes it away, and he drills it from 19 yards out, just outside of the box. Florian Wirtz with another barn burner from range, and Arsenal, just less than 4 minutes into this match, takes the 1-0 lead. Pretty good defense by Alvaro. He knocks the ball away from Bukayo Saka, but right into the path of Florian Wirtz, who beats Atbolu for the 1-0 score, which makes Arsenal one of 2 teams currently winning their second match, the other being Barcelona. Interesting. I guess we've got to wait for RB Salzburg to start throwing some goals in, don't we? Plus 10 on the goal difference already. And is that RB Leipzig? Was it Leipzig? It was Leipzig. Butera with the ball 30 minutes in. Rice, Wirtz quickly to Odegaard, moving it forward. To his right, Reyes ahead for Ahamada, who is onside. He'll shoot, and just leaning back a little bit too much. Isn't able to get that completely on target, although it is knocked back behind by the goalkeeper for a corner. Wirtz in. Saliba settling it down across Ahamada. His shot will whistle wide for a Bayern goal kick. Liverpool also picking up or leading in their match right now. They were. Now they're not. We are currently on the live table in second place in the Champions League. Did not think this was going to happen. 2 minutes will be added on once the 45 has elapsed. A play ahead by Arsenal. Kind of lost my train of thought. Timber will take over in the Bayern end, but Reyes, nice back check there. He feeds Ahamada up the right wing. Reyes inside, hits the post. Brown will clear it as far as Declan Rice. 8-5 your shots on goal in the first half. Florian Wirtz's 4th minute tally is the difference right now. It's Arsenal 1, Bayern 0 after 45 minutes. Pretty even in possession. I like the way that we are playing so far. Hopefully we can keep that going here in the second half. We have been perfect at home so far this season. Hopefully we can continue that here today against a very strong Bayern Munich side in the Champions League. We've picked up 4 shots already in the first 15-20 minutes of this second half. Things are looking good for Arsenal, although Bukayo Saka is starting to tire just a little bit, so we are going to get him off with a little over 15 minutes left to go. Macias will take his place. Florian Wirtz, who scored the goal, will make way for Aziz Haoudi, and 2 changes to be confirmed for the Arsenal side. Hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Bayern unable to get a single shot on goal at all in this second half. Only 1 shot on target in the entire game. Final third throw, and Saliba will get it to Butera, who will lay it back to Saliba. Haoudi in the middle. Odegaard dropping it for Declan Rice. Turned over and shot by Saliba. It's going to go over the crossbar. It will be a goal kick. 15-5 your shots in favor of Arsenal. Saliba playing it forward, but Moscardo is going to step in front of that. His pass, though, for Jeremy, intercepted by Beje Hun. Saliba up for Odegaard. A lot of pressure being put on by Bayern Munich right now. Played ahead. Haoudi for Reyes. Reyes in trouble. Timber picks his pocket. Back for Jimenez. 4 minutes remaining on the clock as Berenbeck carrying it forward for Bayern. Swept away by Reyes. Timber, though, ahead for Jeremy. Moving it toward the sideline. Ahead, Davis. Davis into the middle, looking back post. Berenbeck with a shot on, and Murati will watch that sail over. He did leap up just a little bit if he needed to make an attempt. Only the 1 shot on goal. That was the first shot on goal of the second half for Bayern Munich. They did manage another, but it will not be enough. The full-time whistle has blown. 1-0. Should we have scored more? Probably. Did we need to score more? No, we did not. 2-0 in the Champions League, knocking off PSG on the road and Bayern Munich by a 1-0 score. No rest for the weary, however, as we look to make it 4 wins in a row before we host Burnley. Then it's a month off for the Premier League before returning against Liverpool on the road in the league. That should be a tough one. We are going to come back, though, for our match against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, also at Anfield, before we take on Feyenoord in the Champions League. We've got other matches in the league against Sunderland and Brentford as well, and we hope to see you then. As always, appreciate all the support. Make sure you like the video and subscribe if you have not done so already. Continue to support the channel. Thank you very, very much. Oh, by the way, our last 3 home matches, all sellouts, 60,704. Make that our last 4. We are selling out the Emirates. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that bank balance into the positive in no time. I'll see you tomorrow with more action with Arsenal here in our Journeyman Save in FM24. Until then, bye-bye.